Okay. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, this is going to be just kind of my thoughts on the recent um, Universal and movie theater issue. So, Universal, as we know, because of the coronavirus, they decided to put some of their movies out on VOD. Movies like Trolls World Tour and The Hunt, which had already been in theaters for a few weeks. Um, and basically, Universal came out with a very stupid statement by the CEO. I think his name is Jeff Shell. So he basically came out based off of reports that Universal likes to say that they were successful with Trolls World Tour and the VOD release, that it made a lot of money, but it really didn't, which is hilarious. So Jeff Shell comes out and he says that they're going to be trying to have a movie play both in theaters and be digital. It's going to play on VOD at the same time. So there's a big issue with his statement that a lot of people are missing, that don't understand. The NATO, so the national, what's it called? Like the National Association Theater Owners, or National something. It's all the theater owners, so all the big theaters like Regal, AMC, Landmark, I guess Cinemark. I don't know. That could still be pretty big. Alamo Drafthouse. All of these big theaters, they all are part of this NATO. So NATO basically has, for decades, had a relationship, a very good relationship with the studios. And one of the things that is in that agreement is that NATO, NATO has a release window. So movies go in certain times. So like movies get released on certain Thursdays or certain Fridays. And the thing is it's a window. So there's the theatrical window. Now they have to protect themselves. The theater owners, they have to protect themselves. They have to protect their interests and their assets. So for decades, there has been a rule in place that studios, they can show any movie they want in VOD. However, those movies that are in VOD will not be in the theater. They will not be played as a way to protect the interest and the assets of the theater owners. So, and it's basically always been that rule, and Universal knows it. Jeff Shell knows it, and I think it's a very idiotic thing for him. I think he is really stupid, and I think that Comcast should come down hard on Jeff Shell because of these comments. These are things that are just really stupid to say. So basically, AMC, they were the first ones to come out and say, look, you can do that, but I just want to tell you right now, we're not going to be playing your movie in our theaters. None of your movies will be in theaters. So the thing is, the big thing is a lot of people might be looking at this as like AMC are jerks, that they're being selfish and greedy. No, the thing is Universal is being selfish and greedy, because the VOD thing, it only kind of helps them in the short run, but in the long run, the longevity of this idea of VOD streaming for new films, give it 3, 4, 5 weeks, they're not going to make anything. They're not going to make nearly anything off of those movies. So Universal came out with a statement, and then basically I assess that okay, every other theater chain is going to come out and say something as well because NATO, the the board of theater owners, they basically said we're not going to support Universal. We're not going to allow Universal to do something like this, and we are not going to forget this, Universal. So then Jeff Shell kind of gotten a little heat from Comcast, and basically Jeff Shell tried to backstep his comments, saying that no, 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 he was misunderstood. That what they meant was that they're going to continue to have movies play in theaters, and then some movies, depending on the movies and the window of time and how well they could possibly do, or how well or how terrible they could do in theaters, they would be released directly to VOD. Now, here's the funny thing: Jeff Shell knew exactly what he said. He knew exactly what he said. It was not a misunderstanding. He had said that he wants a movie, say, for example, Jurassic World 3, okay? Or Jurassic World Dominion, I guess is what it's called. Jurassic World Dominion, he's trying to say Jurassic World Dominion is going to play in both theaters and it's going to be out on VOD. Now, people are saying, I've seen a bunch of people online saying, good, I want VOD, theaters are too expensive, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you this, okay? Let me just kind of give my opinion. There is no better experience of watching a film than in a theater. There is no better experience. Now, something like imagine Avengers Endgame. Okay, say Avengers Endgame was coming out and say Disney decided that they were going to be Universal here. The theater owners were like, sorry, we're not playing any Avengers Endgame in our theaters. Say this happened. Avengers Endgame gets straight to VOD. Now, would it be more accessible and easier for people to watch it? Yeah. But would it have been as monumental or as exciting without being in a theater with audience, with a bunch of fellow film fans enjoying the film? No, it wouldn't have been. So for me, I see this as a very selfish thing for Universal. And Regal came out, which I go to Regal. I have Regal Unlimited. I really like the service a lot. And I knew Regal was going to make a statement because, again, they got to protect their best interests. I mean, they have every right to do this. They say, look, we're going to be like AMC. We're not going to have your movies play in our theaters either. So what's going to happen? This is what I think is going to happen. More and more theaters, Landmark and Cinemark, are going to come out and say, hey, look, we're not going to play your movies in our theaters, blah, blah, blah. And Universal's going to back off. They're going to back off on this stance, and they're going to decide, you know what? It's not worth it. We need the theaters just as much as they need us. Because the thing is, the best way for Universal to make money off of their films is by playing them in theaters. Because the energy, the hype, the fact that you're selling to, per ticket. Whereas if it's a movie's rented on VOD, say a family of 8, I mean, would it be more cheaper for a family of 8 for VOD? Yeah, it would, but would it be better? No, not for Universal. Because say a family of 8 wants to rent Jurassic World Dominion, and all they have to do is go on Amazon Prime or iTunes or whatever and hit that rent button. Boom, they can rent the movie on VOD and they get it for 24 hours and they pay $20 for 8 people to watch the movie. 8 people. 8 people. Universal is not going to make nearly that much money. They're going to lose so much money right there. That is potentially, let's say tickets are priced at like $10 average. And I know they're maybe higher. Fine, we'll do 15. They're priced at like 15, okay? They would lose $100 on that family. And people are going to do this because there is no verification that there's only one person watching the film. There is no verification. How are you going to verify that? You can't. So Universal is being really stupid and they're being really selfish and they're not understanding that maybe in the short run it would look better, because they don't have to split any of that take with the theaters. But in the long run, there is no longevity for that. It will not be sustainable. They will not be able to grow, and essentially they would lose a lot of money. So, is it really truly worth losing all of that money, losing the theaters, and basically every movie you put out, you know you're going to make next to nothing back? Tell me, guys, is it worth it? I don't think it is. I think it's a really stupid idea. I think it's really selfish. Again, I'm of the assumption and of the opinion that there is no better viewing experience for a movie than in a movie theater. And I love going to the theater every week. I love Universal a lot. You know, they have Blumhouse. I've been looking forward to Halloween Kills, and whenever movie theaters open up again, who knows? But I've been looking forward to Halloween Kills. I've been looking forward to kind of to Jurassic World Dominion. I've kind of lost faith in that franchise. It's really not a good franchise. Fast and Furious 9. I know that Fast and Furious 9. That's going to be $1 billion film right there, and you're saying that you're going to lose that potential by being stupid. It just doesn't make sense. It really just does not make sense. Because if you release Jurassic World Dominion on VOD and not in theaters, you know it's not going to make that much money. It's not going to make nearly as much money as it could in theaters. And so the take, maybe you get obviously more of the percentage in the take, but when you look at the grand scheme of it, you're not going to be nearly making as much money as you would for the theater. And so the theaters and Universal, they need each other. They need to come to an agreement, and I think they will. I think Universal's probably going to realize, wow, what an idiotic thing to say, what an idiotic thing to do. I think one of the things that they should do, to be honest, is they need to get rid of the CEO, Jeff Shell. They need to get rid of him, because here's the issue. Even if they back down and decide, you know what, we're not going to do that, we're not going to go with our idea, what's going to happen is it's going to break that relationship between the theaters and Universal. They're not going to trust Universal at all because Jeff Shell is the CEO. So I think Jeff Shell has to leave, and I think Universal has to make some course corrections, some different decisions, so that way they can better that relationship with the movie theaters, because they don't trust Universal right now, and I wouldn't either. So they're trying to, get rid of the movie theater business. Well, the movie theater business is not going to help them either. So it's really just stupid, and I'm surprised that Universal hasn't made decisions already to repair the damage that's been done. So those are my thoughts. I just want to make a quick video. I didn't want to record a video and edit a video just because this is kind of off the cuff, and it's relevant today, and who knows tomorrow what's going to happen with all of this stuff and how Universal and the theaters are going to react in the next few days. So those are my thoughts, guys. I think everyone's freaking out right now. There's no reason to freak out. I think what Universal did during quarantine made sense. It made sense for Trolls World Tour. I know certain theaters weren't happy about it, but at the same time, it made sense because Trolls World Tour wasn't going to make. It was going to be $100 million. It wasn't going to make $500 million in the theaters. It wasn't. It wasn't going to make nearly that much. Nobody was truly clamoring for it. So yeah, it's that's an interesting idea, but they should definitely look at going a different route and trying to fix the issue that is currently at risk. Everything is currently at risk with them. But yeah, there's no need to freak out. I'm sure we're going to see Halloween Kills in theaters. I'm sure we're going to see Fast and Furious 9 in theaters. And I'm sure we're going to see Jurassic World Dominion in theaters. So don't freak out. I think that something's going to happen within the next couple of days. Universal's going to figure out what to do about the Jeff Shell situation, maybe get some leadership in there who is actually going to not be stupid and say really dumb off-the-cuff comments, and try to heal that that damage that they've done and that fractured relationship with NATO. So those are my thoughts. I'm like losing my voice, guys. I'm like really losing my voice right now. So I don't want to make that's another reason why I don't want to make this video super long. Um, yeah, I don't know why my voice is like gone, but it is. So anyway, yeah, how's it going, Numanoid? Nice to see you in the chat as always. Last movie I saw at the theater was 1917. That's cool, man. Great movie. Last movie I saw in the theater was The Way Back, which I really liked. So yeah, that was the last movie. I mean, we're going to be going on what, like 2 months of not having the theater. Well, it's been like a month and a half, but um, yeah, I definitely miss it. But it is what it is. Everyone's got to stay safe. They got to stay healthy. I get it. Quarantining is very, very important. And, everyone just needs to stay safe and healthy. The most recent movie I've seen is Aliens 2. So you mean Aliens. It's just called Aliens. That's cool. Great movie. I need to watch that movie again. I haven't watched it in years, but it's a fantastic movie. My 5th R-rated movie. How many? Really? So you've only seen 5 R-rated movies in your life. Interesting. The last movie I watched was today. I watched Train to Busan. Fantastic South Korean zombie flick. It was really, really good. And I hope to have a review on my channel for that movie within the next few days. But I do have a new video that I'm going to be editing tonight. I'm really hoping that I can get it set up for it to be released tomorrow. It's kind of a big video, and it could be controversial. That's all I'm going to say. I might get some hate for the video, which I understand, but it's just my opinion. It 1 and 2, 1917, Alien, and Aliens are the R-rated movies I've seen. Nice. I don't even know how many I've seen. I've seen a lot. So, I have a lot of R-rated movies behind me. By the way, I got a new bookcase because my other one broke on during the move. But yeah, like R-rated movies, I got Nightmare on Elm Street, which is right here. I don't even know what else. I can't really tell. I know I got a lot more than that. You guys know that. Parasite is back here. I do have the 2 It's right here, the steel books. So that's cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, all great movies. Out of those 5, I would say I'd probably rank them. It'd be, for me, Alien. I like Alien more than Aliens. I know I'm a weird person. Actually, I kind of see them both as equal. So I don't really like one over the other. So they're kind of both number 1. And then probably It, and then 1917, and then It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2's it's okay. There's things I don't like about the film. I don't hate it by any means, but I think that the movie is overly long, and it doesn't need to be nearly as long as it is. And I feel like my problem with CGI is just not scary, man. Alien gets boring at a couple parts, in my opinion. Hey, that's fine. That's fair. It's a little slow, but that's what I like about Alien. I love Alien. Fantastic sci-fi horror movie. Mixing my 2 favorite genres, which is sci-fi and horror. But it's not that I like it, Chapter 2, and see, I like it. I don't like it so much, but I like it enough to where I ended up getting the It Chapter 2 steelbook. Nice steelbook. I really got the steelbook because I have the first movie on steelbook, so it's pretty cool. Nice shot of Pennywise there. I've watched It Chapter 2, I think 3 times. Last time I watched it a couple months ago with my buddy and his wife, who had never seen the movie. We had plans to go see it in theaters together, but that kind of never happened. So I ended up, buying it the day it came out, and then I went over to his place like a couple of days later, and we watched it. So yeah, I'm just gonna put that right there for now. Aliens, however, is a great movie all around. Yeah, it's good. It's a really great film. All the horror movies I've seen aren't even that scary, but they're all good. Yeah, a lot of modern horror films are just not scary. I thought It was pretty creepy. The first It. I wasn't really scared by it per se. I thought it was very creepy, but that's about it. I'm trying to think. Uh, what are some recent? The Ring. The Ring is one of the creepiest movies I think that I've seen. Uh, that has come out within the past 20 years. That movie it freaks me out every freaking time I watch that movie, especially the one scene. And I was talking to my friend Nate about this the other day. Nate Hale, go check out his channel. We were talking on the phone the other day, and I was telling him we're actually talking about The Ring, and I was telling him that the one scene in when they open up the closet and the girl's face is just all messed up and stuff, dude, that freaks me out every single time. That's like one of the creepiest scenes that I can remember of a horror film. I don't know. I've seen a lot of horror movies. When I grew up when I was younger, my dad had told me that the scariest movie he'd ever seen was The Exorcist, and he told me that I couldn't watch it till I was like 12. So once I turned 12, we watched it. Like literally, then I think it was probably like a week after I turned 12. We watched it, and I laughed. I pretty much laughed at the whole entire movie. I was like, "You thought this was scary?" Um, but I do own the movie. I own the steelbook. I really own the steelbook because, well, I really own the movie because I really like the steelbook. But I don't know if I don't know. It's a very hard movie to watch just because of the subject matter for me. But um, it's not a scary film, but it's just uh, I believe in God and I believe in Jesus Christ, and I try to follow them the best that I can, and I think that movie gets a little hard sometimes for me to watch. But I don't really ever talk about my personal life, and I don't want to talk about my personal life with you guys because we're all here to talk about movies. They're more tense than scary. My dad watched a lot of horror movies as a kid. Same with it. I also laughed a lot in the movie. Yeah, when I was a kid, I grew up on horror movies and Star Wars. That was that was my childhood in a nutshell, right there. I watched I watched Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Halloween is probably that's why it's my favorite horror film of all time because it is the movie that probably scared me the most. That and Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead. The remake's really good. I need to get the remake, but the remake is not nearly as scary as Evil Dead was for me. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, Halloween just it's to me it's one of the most tense and most scary. It's one of the scariest films of all time just because of the aspect of how random it is and how anybody can truly be this horrifying figure. And when it comes to the Halloween franchise, I'm probably gonna make a video about it. But I love the original Halloween so much that the rest of the movies, I can tolerate to an extent. Halloween 4 is the best sequel. I really like that movie a lot. I don't know if I'd say I'd love it because it's definitely not perfect. There's definitely some issues with it, but I really like that movie, and it's one of the movies that I watch every Halloween, along with the original Halloween, Halloween 2, from 1981. Is it 1981? I don't even remember what year it came out, but Halloween 2 for me is I have a lot of issues with it, with continuity and with the fact that it's supposed to take place on the same night. I don't know. I'm picky that way. Halloween 3, I've never seen it. I plan on watching it hopefully this year. I've watched clips, so I know what it's about. Halloween 5 has probably one of the most annoying characters ever, Tina. Halloween 6 is really stupid. I don't hate it per se, but it's just not a great movie at all. It's Paul Rudd's in it, which is cool. Um, let's see. Halloween H2O, I do not like actually. I know a lot of people love H2O. I do not like it. It does not. It's not a Halloween film to me. It feels more like Scream, and that's what they were trying to go for. Halloween Resurrection. Haven't seen it. I don't really want to, but I think I'm gonna watch it this Halloween. And then Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. I don't really like either of them. I hate the second one. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 to me is garbage. I really hate that movie. And then Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween, the first half is so disgusting. The language is just horrendous, that it's so unwatchable. And then the second half is not bad, actually. I kind of enjoy the second half. It's just like a bloodier, more like grimier version of John Carpenter's original Halloween. I don't know why I got on a Halloween rant, guys. I'm sorry. I don't even know what the stream has become anymore. Scariest horror movie for me is hard. It too wasn't really scary at all. Only one scene made me a bit freaked out. It has darker imagery compared to It 2, and It 1 is way more dark and not as humorous than It 2. Yeah, It Chapter 2 is very humorous. What was the one scene that really freaked you out though? I want to know, Numanoid. Let me know. To me, It Chapter 2 did not freak me out one bit. I It's kind of funny. I remember in the theater, because this was just a few months ago. Uh, back when we had stuff open and we weren't all quarantined. I remember at the theater, I was sitting next to a couple. It was just me. I go to the theater all the time by myself. I like it. I don't have any issues with it. Why do you need someone there to hold your hand? Just go. If you want to see a movie, just go. I was sitting next to a couple, and you could tell that the girlfriend either had just seen It Chapter 1, like hours before this movie, and you could tell that she does not like horror movies. She freaked out and screamed every single scene. It was kind of annoying, and the only time I got a little bit tensed up was not even from the movie, but her screaming. I didn't expect it. It kind of like freaked me out for a second, but no, the movie didn't freak me out at all. Actually, I thought, and that's one of my issues is it's not really a horror film. I mean, it tries to be, but it kind of fails at a lot of suspense. Halloween 3 is about masks that blow up kids' brains. Yeah, I know what the movie's about. The reason it isn't a Michael movie is because Halloween was supposed to be an anthology series. Yep, and Michael was so famous to have one more movie. Well, what happened was, yeah, because John Carpenter uh, was a producer on Halloween 2. He was there on set, and he didn't want to direct, another Halloween film because in his eyes, the movie was what he wanted it to be. And after Halloween 2, John Carpenter said he's done. He left the franchise until Halloween 2018. And Halloween, yeah, it was going to be an anthology series where it was going to be different stories every time, which is actually kind of a cool idea, to be honest, because Halloween 2 was supposed to be the end, the death of Michael Myers, and then we get Halloween 4. And let me say, I'm happy we have Halloween 4 because I really like the return of Michael Myers. I really like Halloween 4. I really like it a lot. Um, it is one of those movies where, let me see, where do I have it? I have it somewhere. Let me just show you guys here. Let me just flaunt my Blu-rays at you. Right here, look at this. Here it is, Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. I love this freaking movie. it's 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 a really good slasher, and this to me feels like the continuity matches up a lot more with the original Halloween. I still don't like the fact that Laurie and Michael are brother and sister, but whatever. It kills Laurie off, and Danielle Harris is really good in this movie. Rachel is probably my favorite final girl of all time. I think she freaking kicks butt, and yeah, it's a really, really good movie. I really like it, and I know other people don't, and that's totally fine. I just caught that. Look at that. It's impressive. But I really like it. Let's see. With Michael, legs with no torso freaked me out a bit. Are you talking about It Chapter 1? I think you're talking about it. Yeah, you're talking about the first It, because it's where Ben is in the library on the bottom, or like in the basement of the library, and then this torso. Yeah, there's no torso with just these legs, and they're running at Ben. Um, I think that's what. Is that what you're talking about? I'm confused. Is there legs with no torso in It Chapter Two? It's not the wonton scene when they're in the restaurant, right? The legs with no torso. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Okay. All right, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the scene where they're in the cave and Bill Hader and Eddie. So Eddie and what's Finn Wolfhard's character again in it? Richie. Eddie and Richie are in the cave and they have like the different doors and then they open the one door and yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Yeah, the door scene. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they had the same thing in it in the first It too. It was pretty much the same setup because they were looking for that one girl. It was a body with no head. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, my issue is like what I take issue with those a lot of it chapter 2 is I CGI to me is not scary. I mean, a computer generated effect is not scary. I think what it did, the first It, was that it made Pennywise truly terrifying and it was menacing and that was the scary part of the first It. When you get to It Chapter 2, it's almost like they took that away and there's that one scene with the little girl. I think that it's probably my favorite scene in the entire movie because it reminded me so much of the first film. And then the rest of It Chapter 2 is just a lot of CGI and really just interesting direction and some interesting choices that I understand were in the novel, but why would you do that for the actual film? I mean, it doesn't translate well. You know, him being the giant spider is just kind of dumb. I don't like it. It looks so. I don't know. I think it looks bad. I don't think it looks very good. Um, I do. I think yeah. My two favorite scenes probably number one is Pennywise with the young girl who has the scarring on her face, and he ends up eating her. That's a great scene underneath the bleachers. The lighting in that scene is gorgeous. Oh my gosh! Here I am talking about the lighting in It Chapter 2, but no, the lighting is fantastic. The cinematography in that scene is freaking amazing. Like it is one of those scenes that I could literally have like a poster of on my wall before he eats the girl. I'm not that brutal or violent, um, but no, I think that is definitely by far my favorite scene. I love that scene in the theater. I had a smile on my face when that happened because it made me feel like I was actually watching the genius of It Chapter 1. And I feel like, and it's no diss on the director. Like my thing with It Chapter 2 is I feel like there was so much creative freedom, and that was the issue. Because of how successful the first film was, they decided that they were going to they were going to up everything, up the budget, and I think that that took away a lot of the practicality of the first film that made it so freaky, so creepy. And if I had to watch one of those two movies, I'm going to watch It Chapter 1 all day, every day. And I do like It Chapter 2. I'm not discrediting the film. I do like It Chapter 2, but I just think that I have too many problems with the use of CGI and the use of humor, and yeah, it's a weird movie for me. But my two favorite scenes, definitely the bleacher scene is my favorite, and then my second favorite is um, is Beverly visiting the old lady. She goes to her old apartment, and the old lady lives there, and she is under the guise of Pennywise. That's a fantastic sequence. That entire scene I really like. Until they get to the CGI where she comes out and she's like really big and like tall, and it's kind of like she has like she's what is it, like a praying mantis or something. It's weird. She looks like she looks like one of the creatures from A Quiet Place, but just like with the face of a weird woman that's like completely like bloated because of the CGI. But I love everything up till that, and then when Pennywise is taking off the clown makeup and it's kind of just like a real authentic human face. That is really cool. But yeah, those are my two favorite scenes in It Chapter Two for sure. Um, CGI in it too doesn't look very good compared to other movies. My eyes were covered during old lady scene. Why? Why were your eyes covered? It wasn't like scary. I didn't really think that It Chapter Two was scary. I mean, if you thought it was scary, then I get it. You know, subjectivity of. I've just watched so many horror movies growing up as a kid, and for me, I don't get scared from jump scenes from jump scares. Jump scares are what I hate the most. I freaking hate them, unless if they're used really effectively. I think Train to Busan, which is a horror movie that I just watched today, there's some really tense moments. But the thing that I like about that film is that there's so much drama, and it's really a character piece. And it's almost kind of like it deals with a social issue in a very contextual way, and that social issue is education. If you watch the film, they mention education a few times, and there's certain moments that happen where certain people are more educated than others, and therefore they're more selfish, more greedy. And so those who are maybe a little poor in education, or maybe just like a little less comfortable, those are the people that get kind of put away by the people who of higher standard or higher education. It's a very fascinating film. Very, very fascinating film. But it wasn't scary or anything. The last genuine scary film that I've watched probably is The Conjuring. Um, yeah, that The Conjuring, that it's not like a scary movie, but it definitely is one of those movies where I actually kind of got scared in a couple moments. But other than that, there hasn't been anything really since. Um, I think a close second maybe might be Annabelle Creation. That one's really good. That has some really effective uses of jump scares. Um, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the Conjuring universe. They have like, from what I've seen so far, two films that are really good. One that's a guilty pleasure. Annabelle Comes Home. I do like that movie. I have fun with it. It's not scary. It's kind of stupid, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't get why it was rated R. It should have been rated PG-13. And that's it. The Nun is terrible. The Curse of La Yabloa is terrible. I know that that's not the name. Obviously, I just made fun of it. Um, and I have not seen The Conjuring 2 yet. And Annabelle, the first Annabelle, is dreadful. Oh my gosh, it's such a boring movie. I remember watching Annabelle, the first one, and I was just like, is this movie ever going to start? Like, what is this? This is so freaking boring. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So am I excited for Conjuring 3? No, not really. I'm kind of over the Conjuring universe at this point. That's my thought. My eyes were covered during old lady scene. My parents covered them because me is still young and lady is nude. I mean, is she though? Not really. I mean, it's CGI and it's not. I wouldn't say she's nude, honestly. And they don't really show anything. It's not like it's out in front. A lot of it is because she's hunched down like this, and she's like running towards Beverly, so you can't even see anything. Um, and even like in the background when she's like doing the dancing and stuff, you don't see anything. It's out of focus a bit, where it's just in the background. Train to Busan is a statement about Korean society, right? Yeah, I think it deals more with the education of Korea, whereas like Bong Joon Ho, that is more about the social aspect, the social climb of wealth and poverty. Um, yeah, Bong Joon Ho is a freaking genius. That dude is he's an auteur in every sense of the word. He's fantastic. Um, yeah, Train to Busan is a really, really good movie. I give it probably like a 9 out of 10. It's a great film. I'm looking forward to the sequel too. I think it's either a sequel or a prequel they're doing. I'm not too sure. You can watch it on Netflix. If you have Netflix, you can watch Train to Busan. I watched it on Shutter just because I want to use more of my Shutter account. But yeah, it's on Netflix and Shutter. So, but anyway, I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. My voice is like gone, honestly. I need to go get a drink. I need to kind of chill out for a second. Then I have to edit a video that I'm hoping to get up tomorrow. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for that video. It is going to possibly be my most controversial video ever in terms of what I'm talking about, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be completely on the opposite end of the spectrum, which is fine. Um, but anyway, thank you so much for your comments, Numanoid. It's great having you in the chat as always. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. I am doing more creative content, and I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you in my next video. Stay healthy.